If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, November 21st, 2013. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. The collegiate swimming and diving season is about to reach the halfway point with several invitationals taking place across the United States. One of them is the Buckeye Invitational on the campus of The Ohio State University. 4 teams will take to the pool in what was one of the fastest meets of the midseason in 2012. Joining me today in the Phoenix Monitor is Ohio State head coach Bill Wadley, who is having a good season so far. Let's bring him in via Skype from Columbus, Ohio. Coach, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Good, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, thanks. You all set for the meet this weekend?
We are. You know, it's fun to have the likes of Florida and Virginia and Kentucky and all these good teams coming in. It's always fun.
So this is the 8th year of the meet. What was the idea behind creating this invitational 8 years ago?
Well, you know, we'd always gone out to an invitational, and of course, when we build what I consider to be the #1 aquatic center in the nation, there's just no reason to go anywhere, and there's so many people that would love to come to Ohio State and swim in this fast pool that we decided we needed to have one, and this year, it ended up being that we had to have it earlier because of the fact that our finals week is during our typical, invite weekend, which is the first weekend in December.
Well, it gives you a little bit better reason. Everybody can go home for Thanksgiving now, I guess.
Some of them will.
Some of them will. Some of them are going to have to stay back there in Columbus and grind it out with Coach Wadley. So, like I said, it's the 8th year. Have any of those years stood out for you in terms of success and kind of interesting things at the Invitational?
You know, I think every year is different and every team's different, but it's always fun to have some fast swimmers at the meet, and having Florida here last year was great, and we had North Carolina and Florida and a few others last year, and then of course having Florida back this year, and Coach Troy's team is arguably one of the best in the nation, and we think that the Big Ten is very good, but the truth is that Coach Troy boasts a team that's pretty competitive.
Are the Buckeyes going to have a full shave and taper this weekend?
Well, we're not. We never do in the fall. Typically what we'll do is we'll train real hard through Saturday, and then, Sunday is off for us, of course, and then Monday we'll come in and we'll do sort of a normal day, but a little bit lighter, so we'll do doubles that day. And we probably went about 10,000 on Monday off total with morning and afternoon, and then, but it wasn't as high intensity. And then we'll rest a little bit more on Tuesday, and then Wednesday today, not too much, and then Thursday's sort of a lighter day. So really 3 full days of rest, and then maybe a lighter day on Monday.
Well, that's not bad. These kids probably want to feel fresh if they're going to be racing Florida.
That's right. And Greg's team typically doesn't take a lot of rest either in the fall, so it works out pretty good that, that we're swimming them sort of straight up, if you will,
Well, going into this, what would you say is going to be the main goal for the men and women?
Well, I think the objective for both teams is to, see where you are at this time of the year, see how fast you can be, and see if your times can compete with the rest of those teams in the nation. And of course, we think we've got a good young team and some bright young stars that are up-and-comers. And so, it gives them a chance to compare themselves with some of the fastest swimmers in the nation and put some times out there and see where they stick.
The men are 8-0 so far this season. The women are 7-1. Give us a kind of a rundown on how you think this dual meet season has gone so far.
Well, you can't argue with 8-0, right? I mean, we went to Kentucky and swam at Kentucky, and they had their stands packed. They did a great job, and their new coach has done a nice job of creating some energy. And, we were able to win on the road there. Then we came home and swam a really good Virginia Tech and the national champion Kenyan team and whatnot. And we're able to get through those. And Virginia Tech's very good. And, of course, Ned's from Columbus. So, Ned wants to come to Columbus and do well. And then we went to Purdue and swam Purdue, Iowa, Northwestern. And all 3 teams, I think at least 2 of the 3 teams were ranked at the time. And, and you're on the road swimming at Purdue's pool. And they've got probably arguably the best swimming team that I've seen Purdue have, and we were able to sort of get through that as well. So we feel good about where we are, and we want to get better.
Yeah, those are some good teams. How do you go about setting your dual meet schedule each year?
Well, this was a little more challenging this year than we typically do in the fall because of the fact that we don't take a full rest in the fall, Jeff. We sort of typically will sort of schedule almost a non-conference kind of thing in the fall and sort of build into the conference sort of late fall, and then after Christmas and January sort of focus on the conference season. But our focus is on getting better. It's not on winning dual meets. It's on getting better. Can we help a young man take his stroke, take his training to the next level? And if we can, then at the end of the year they're going to be faster. And so it's all about development. Even though it's hard to say, well, is a 45-second freestyler a developing person? And the answer is, well, he needs to be, because it's 42 to get to the NCAAs today.
Absolutely right. It was just
so we really are developing everybody.
Yeah. Well, you kind of said something here that I think has kind of been the standard response for a lot of coaches, in that the dual meets don't really matter. We would like to win, but of course it's the conference and the NCAAs that matter. But how do you? Is there a way that we could keep the dual meet season exciting, not just for swimmers and coaches, but for fans, to get them in the stands, like you said, for Kentucky, and make it kind of a nice build up to the end of the season?
Well, the truth is that every time you go to a competitor's pool, they typically do a very good job of creating energy in their pool. And so when we swim Indiana at Indiana, there's good energy in Indiana. When they come to Ohio State, it's unbelievable energy. We can pack our pool for a good dual meet. When we swim Michigan, it'll be a packed pool. And we will have lots of energy. And it's just, so I think the dual meets do matter. And I think that all coaches believe that they matter. They don't rush for them, of course, but the truth is that you're teaching about race strategy. You're teaching kids to learn how to put their hand on the wall first. You're teaching them about how to, swim through the wall, not to the wall. And so every time you race, you have a chance to improve. And so we always say that, our focus isn't to become better trainers. Our focus is to use training to become better racers.
You've been in this sport for a while. I won't age you by saying how long, but it's been a few years. What would you say has been the biggest progression in this sport so far?
Well, I think, change is inevitable. You go first, right? And the goal is that you have to continuously be on the move to try to reinvent yourself and reinvent your program and try to find ways to make your team and your program better than it was yesterday. And of course, the pressure is on you to always look for new ideas and new ways to do the same thing and make it more fun, while at the same time helping young people get faster. So we have to always be listening with our ears, and watching with our eyes, and we have to have a lot of friends in the sport that we can ask questions of, and we've got to be curious about trying new things. And so I think that that's the new school approach, if you will. And the new school approach is stay on your toes. Keep leaning into improvement, and as long as we're trying to improve, then we set and provide a good shadow for young people about what we're doing, then they're going to want to improve as well. So I think that coaching is an evolving thing, and we've seen coaches evolve, over the last 20 or 30 years, and I think that's why you see the results being as good as they are. We've got some wonderful coaches at all levels in collegiate swimming, and some fantastic coaches in all levels in club swimming.
Well, for you, you talk about the importance of evolving. Has it been difficult for you to evolve with these new ideas that come through, or are you someone that's just like, okay, let's go for it?
I'm curious. I mean, I think that's the objective, is you have to always say, and we teach our athletes that they need to stay curious. Why is someone faster than us? What is it that they're doing that we can do as well? What is it that they're doing that we can do better still? And so I think the objective is to never look at yourself as a finished product. And as I just mentioned to our guys just a moment ago, we just got them in the water. I said, that the most important thing you do is always try to reinvent yourself. And so we're never, ever, what you were yesterday is yesterday's business. You want to try to be better for today, for your team, your family, your community, your church, and your university in this case. And so in order to be better, that means you have to constantly be evaluating yourself in an honest way. So, change is good. Let's get it done. Let's find ways to be better so we can be happier.
Well, I don't want to take away from your time with the swimmers out there getting ready for this big meet. Before we go, though, I want to submit you to the final five, Coach. These are 5 questions we ask all of our guests to get to know them a little bit better. So we're going to start off with the first question, which is, if you could change the order of strokes in the individual medley, how would you change it?
If I could change the order of strokes, I think I'd probably start off with freestyle first.
Okay. What would the rest of, how would the other strokes go?
And then you're talking about changing it for me, not for them, right?
Oh, for you personally, if you know, whatever would get you back in the pool and get you swimming the IM.
Their team. In other words, I'd like to have a lead. I'd like for, if they're starting with fly, I'd like for my team to start with freestyle, Jeff. That's what I'm talking about.
I got it. So just for your team. I got you. Besides coaching, what's a career or job you would most like to try?
Well, I think the you know, we're in a culture shaping world, and so I think, you know, culture shaping, helping companies improve their culture, and I think that would be something that would be fun. Public speaking, that would, you know, maybe provide insights into delayed gratification and the value of delayed gratification for young people. So I think those would probably be two things, but again, they're all things that I do each and every day.
And on the flip side of that, what's a career you would definitely not like to try?
Well, there's probably a lot that I wouldn't be good at, but, you know, I guess, you know, we're fortunate, Jeff, that we get to do what we love to do for a living. And there are a lot of people in this world that are less fortunate that don't have that option. And so I would just say I count my blessings each and every day that I get to do what I love to do for a living, which is work with young people, influence young minds, and you know, and do it in a way that it's help young people grow through sport and learn through sport. And so I just think that we're pretty blessed to be able to be involved in what we happen to be able to do. And you know, I don't feel, you know, I mean, obviously some people have to do things that they have to do that aren't so fun.
Yeah, I like that answer, Coach. If you could change or add any of the rules in the swimming rule book, what would it be?
Oh, goodness. If I could change or add, I guess I would say I probably would go with you know, breaststroke, you know, dolphin kick, getting rid of the breaststroke dolphin kick off the walls and going back to the old school breaststroke, and then we don't have to worry about who's out there taking 2 dolphin kicks when no one can see it.
Okay. Last question. I know coaches don't get a lot of vacation time, but where do you like to go for vacation?
Vacation. That's a great question. I guess visit family. You know, I have a couple grandchildren and a couple children, and then also maybe visit my mother. You know, and so I guess visit family. But if I had my druthers between after I visit family, I'd go find a nice place on a beach and read a good book.
I would imagine a coach would want to be away from water, but I guess as long as it's away from a swimming pool, you're okay.
Well, if you love what you do and you do what you love, you don't, you know, I mean, some people go to work every day of their life, and some people never worked a day in their life, and that's me, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. It makes for a good team there at Ohio State. They got a coach who loves what he does. Well, Coach, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck this weekend at the meet, and we're going to be looking forward to seeing how the Buckeyes do. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Knock on wood, and best wishes to all those other teams that are going on out there. All right, thanks again. We'll see you down the road. Bye, Jeff. All right, and our thanks to you as well for joining us on today's show. Be sure to keep up with the latest news in aquatic sports at swimmingworld.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.